So, you're going to Knoebels. Do you want to know a couple secrets? Hey everybody, it's Paul from the 125 Roller Coaster Challenge, and today we're going to be starting a brand new video series called Helpful Hints. And we couldn't have thought of a better place to launch this series than the one and only Knoebels Amusement Resort. We have been visiting this park for almost 40 years and have seen it grow and change over that time. This park is special because it truly is a mix of a traditional amusement park with some modern touches. So when we were thinking about how to approach this video series, we wanted to make a video that both first-time visitors along with the Knoebels regulars can enjoy and get something out of. As we start discussing the tips, we're going to let you know if they're for the beginners, the advanced fans, or the Knoebels experts. We're also going to be adding in some hidden gems that might not be tips, but they are definitely worth checking out. Before we kick this off, if you want to know the history of the park, what we think of each roller coaster, or just a complete walkthrough of Knoebels, make sure you hit the link above or at the end of the video to see our full Knoebels playlist. Now, let's get started sharing some knowledge, and the best way to do that is to basically start from the beginning. Our first category is going to be parking at Knoebels. A beginner hint is that parking is actually free at Knoebels. When you pull into the park, you head down the road by impulse, and most of the day you're going to see a parking attendant there to guide you into your spot. An advanced hint is the fact you don't have to stay in that spot. There are numerous factors as to why you might want to switch it up. Maybe you think there's a spot closer, which could be the case in the middle of the day as people start to leave. Maybe you have someone who has a challenge walking and you need to be closer to one of the tram spots. Also, maybe you just don't like the person you park next to. It could be an old high school rival. The fact is, all you have to do is pull through and you can drive to another location. Now, the expert hint is something that we do every time we visit now. Last year was the first time I actually lost my car while visiting the park. You have to understand, we visit Knoebels numerous times a year, sometimes twice in the same week, and it's easy to just jump out of the car and head into the park without finding a decent landmark to help me remember where we parked. So here is what we do now. When Knoebels parks you, they start in the front closest to the road and they work their way back. The last places that they fill up is the far end of the lot near the tree line and the picnic pavilions. At first you're going to think, wow, that's a really long walk, but actually it's not. There's always a space in that area, and since it's right next to the picnic pavilions, it makes it easy to hit the restroom, which is actually one of the cleanest and most modern in the park, before you head home. Do this every time and you will never lose your car. Now let's move on to the second category, which is ticketing. First of all, and a beginner hint is that the park is actually free, but the rides are not. While there are some free aspects of the park like the shows, the museums, and more, when it comes to the rides, food, games, and merchandise, that all costs money. There are two ways to ride at Knoebels, and this would be the average hint for this category. You can get a ride all day pass, which for 2024 is between $52 to $57 depending on when and where you buy them. If you're under 48 inches, there is a great deal for only $34 to $39 each. According to the website, the Haunted Mansion is excluded, so that can only be ridden by the next method, which is the ride tickets. Like traditional parks, you can buy ride ticket books for $20 and $50 with some bonuses when you buy larger quantities. You can get $200 in tickets for $170 or 500 tickets for $400. The advanced hit for this would be that the tickets never expire. Seriously, they never do. I have a stockpile of tickets from over the past years, and I haven't used cash in this park for about almost 4 years now. Another advanced hint is that some of these books in the past not just had tickets to be used for the rides, but some of them actually worked for games and food. Now, checking their website, I don't see any of these mentioned anymore, but if you still have these tickets, they still work perfectly. And the hint is very simple. Do not waste those tickets on rides, use them for food. The expert hint that we can give you on this front is very simple. Depending on the day of the week and the crowd, that's going to determine which method of tickets that you should buy. If you're going to the park on a Wednesday in early June, get the ride all day pass. You're going to be able to ride a lot more because of the less crowds, and you're going to get more value than the $57 that you spent. The opposite is what you should do on a busy weekend. Get the tickets, because the crowds are going to make it a challenge to ride a lot, and if you have extra tickets, they can be used for another trip. Our next category is going to be, well, the rides. I wish I could tell you to do this or that and you're never going to hit a line, but we all know that that is not possible. So what I want to tell you is some attractions and areas that aren't as crowded historically. Then I'm going to give you about 3 hidden gems to enjoy. The beginner tip is for viewers with small kids. Enter the park near Impulse, the large steel coaster, and keep walking towards the back of the park. You're going to pass Cosmo's Curves, but you just keep on going. There are 2 kids sections here, one on either side of the creek, and your kids are going to be able to stay and play there all day. They have rides like the hand cars, the jet fighters, the Kitty Himalaya, boats, fire trucks, and so much more for your little ones. Now, if you don't have kids, most of the thrill rides are near the Phoenix, with Stratosphere, Tornado, and Fandango there. Now, if it's a hot day and you need to cool off, while the Crystal Pool is always great, if you're looking for a short line, we highly recommend Sploosh. Now, this is located pretty much by itself in the back of the park by the park pavilions, and this ride is often forgotten. Now it's time for the 3 hidden gems for the ride category. If you're looking for a kiddie ride, the Spanish Bambina is absolutely adorable. Now for the family rides, while the Grand Carousel and the Pioneer Train get a lot of love, they aren't really hidden gems. Let's go with the bumper cars for this because they truly are the best that we have ever ridden. You're going to get knocked around pretty good and you're going to love every second of it. Now for the thrill rides as a hidden gem, we all know about the Phoenix and the Twister, and we would have gone with the Haunted Mansion before they had the huge celebration last year. So for this hidden gem, we're going to have to go with the classic Cosmotron. Yes, it's a Himalaya in a box, but the lights and the music pounding, it really is a throwback to the 80s and the 90s. Now we're on to our next category, which is food. Okay, here's where the tips and the hints are going to become very helpful. On the beginning level, there are food stands all over Knoebels, but there are 2 areas that we would consider food courts. The first one is by the Paratroopers, where you can get pizza, cheesesteaks, and barbecue at the round stand and the potato barn. The second food court is over by the Phoenix, and there they actually give you 2 great options. The first one is the Phoenix Junction, which has sandwiches and more of the traditional fare. And then they have the International Food Court with American, Polish, Asian, Mexican, and so many more different varieties. Now, a quick expert hint is that these areas tend to fill fast when it comes to seating. But if you go over by the Black Diamond and over by the Bald Eagles, there are some picnic tables that are usually reserved for staff, but they're always empty and you're always going to find a place to sit right there. That is the beginning hints for this section. Now we want to go a little bit more advanced. If you want to get out of the heat and have a sit-down meal, you have to visit the Alamo, which has daily specials along with a great menu. The Oasis also has weekend specials to go along with their daily specials, and these specials are amazing. They have all-you-can-eat fish fry, all-you-can-eat spaghetti, taco night, and so much more. Our 3 hidden gems for the food category are as follows. First, when you want to grab some food quick, we always hit the wharf. This stand's menu isn't the best, with mostly chicken and sloppy joe offerings, but the line is usually not too bad, and let's be honest, who doesn't like sloppy joes? Our second hidden gem is the roast beef stand. Now, we know it's not the most creative name, but this is where you want to go if you want barbecue and mac and cheese. Now, it took us a long time to actually find this stand because it is nestled between Oasis Pizza and the Oasis. It's very easy to miss, but you don't want to miss out. Our final food hidden gem is the Backyard Barbecue across from the Giant Flume. This is where you can find the infamous bacon on a stick along with those smoked turkey legs. Okay, let's get to the next category, which is games. Here we only have 1 hint for you and 1 hidden gem. Unlike most parks these days, Knoebel still takes cash to play, which is a good thing. However, our beginner hint is you can also get the game ticket option just like with the rides. You can get the game tickets for $20 and you get $21 worth of play. Now that's not going to sound like a lot, but if you enjoy games and you're going to be here all summer long, that quickly adds up. Our advanced hint is their laser tag, which is called Laser Command, and it's located right next to the Haunted Mansion. The cost for this is $6 per person, and they also have a maze for $3. Now you can do both for $8, and this is a fun and unique way to kill some time. Our expert hint has to do with the shooting range. Now there are two of them. The first one is over by Laser Command and it's $2, and it's basically a standard shooting range with the BBs where you basically shoot a target straight across from yourself. If you go over to the Flying Turns area, there's an electronic shooting gallery which is a saloon scene and it's a lot more interactive, and there the price is basically $1 per round. Our hidden gem has to be their fascination game, which is a combination of skee ball and bingo. And why is this a gem? Because it is always mobbed and the prizes you can win are really pretty good. Now there are two more categories to go, with the next one being shopping. Here there aren't too many hints, but you can find great bargains at the general store, which also has a lot of candy. Talking about candy, an advanced tip would be to get your fudge early in the morning because they do sell out, and you can always ask them to hold it for you till the end of the day. Our hidden gem is the American Hero / Sports World store, and they have a lot of unique sports items. And I actually find items here that I see nowhere else. The advanced hint with this store is to hit it early in the season, because at the end of the year, all they really have is New York Mets stuff. Our last category is miscellaneous items, and here we have 2 beginners, 2 advanced, and 2 more expert hints. Now for a beginner, we mentioned the free parking before, but did you know you can actually bring your dogs to the park for the day? Yep, your dogs are welcome, and they don't even need to be service dogs. All we ask is that you please clean up after them. Another beginner is that they have mini golf here, and it's actually a pretty good course. It is located along the main path by the park office and only costs $5 for 18 holes. It's a great way to put the day away. Now for the advanced hints, did you know that there are 3 museums that are free at Knoebels? Check out the Knoebels History Museum, which is all about the park history, the Mining Museum, which is about the region, and the Carousel Museum, which houses some classic and rare horses, along with panels from carousels long gone by. While visiting Knoebels, you might notice that it's pretty much in the middle of nowhere. Now most of us know that Knoebels has a campground unless you're a beginner, but there are 3 other options that Knoebels offers: the Lake Glory Campground, the Knoebel Cottages, and the Latore House Bed and Breakfast. Information on these options can be found on the Knoebels website. Now it's time to go for the expert hints. You might have noticed that there isn't any alcohol stands, so I guess Knoebels doesn't offer that. Well, guess what? You're wrong. While it's not found at the park grounds, when you head out towards Elysburg from the park, you're going to see signs for Knoebels 3 Ponds Golf Course. Stop on in and visit the restaurant called the Nickel Plate. There you can find a full beer and cocktail menu. And finally, our final hint is something I really didn't know much about, and something that I'm not really in the market for, but Knoebels is the perfect place to have a birthday party. No, not for me, but for the little ones. They actually have 4 different options, which includes rides, a swim, the Laser Command, and the bargain birthday party for Wednesday and Friday nights. Each comes with a special Knoebels invitations, a centerpiece, a birthday gift, and a character visit. So there you go. These are some helpful hints for Knoebels. What did we miss? Let us know in the comments, and also let us know which hint you thought was the best one for you. Remember to like and subscribe to our channel because we're going to be visiting 60 parks in 2024, so there's going to be a lot of new content coming your way. Also click the link above so you can see all of our other Knoebels videos featuring walkthroughs, food, coasters, and more. Thanks for watching, and we can't wait to ride to 125.